takes you through the 7 pieces of armor. The belt of truth, the breastplate of righteousness, the feet, keep your feet with the readiness of peace, take up the shield of faith, put on the helmet of salvation, take up the sword of the spirit and the power of prayer. And I started thinking more about how can I acclimate that into myself, into my daily life, into this. It talks about putting on the belt of truth. With that, it's about stating your purpose. Like, we don't make our own intentions. We don't set our own daily lives. If we don't set our own daily, someone else will set it for us. So we have a weekly work schedule, weekly school schedule that we adhere to, but it's not ourselves. It talks about the breastplate of righteousness. So for me, it's about, so in order to get ourselves right, we need to elevate our vibration, elevate our energy, elevate the food we're eating. Eating more high vibration fruits, vegetables, like natural, real food, not this, lab shit that they got us, feeding on, that they call plant-based. So it's about elevating our vibration through the food we eat and the way that we consume our foods. Then it talks about feet with the readiness of peace. Well, of course, it's about taking time for ourselves. Like, that's a priority. Taking time to meditate, taking time to kind of atone and heal our own inner peace so that we can have more inner peace in our environment. It talks about the shield of faith. And faith is not something that you could just put on. Faith is done through repetitive actions. But one way that you could do it is fasting. Like, that's something that I've been doing for the past couple of years, and it's changed the way I feel, my energy, my focus. I feel so much more clarity, and I didn't know my whole life. I feel clearer at 37 than I did at 27. And when you think about just fasting in general, when you think about all these food shortages that's coming, we need to arm ourselves against that. How do you arm yourself against food shortages? If we have the discipline to learn how to eat once or twice a day, or learn to fast if we need to, it'll keep us from falling into that hole. That's a hole that many people will fall into if and when food shortages do come. It talks about putting on the helmet of salvation. Helmet of salvation is, your helmet covers your head. The salvation is the knowledge of, is once again, it's like your redemption. It's like what's going to save you. So helmet of salvation is like having the knowledge of the truth. And knowledge is something that removes fear. That's something that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said. He said, knowledge removes fear. Like, if you're going into a room and you don't know what's in that room, it's a big room and it's dark, you may be scared. It makes sense, common sense. But if you've been in that room before and you know where everything is, even if it's dark, you have the knowledge of that room. You know what I mean? So even as you walk in there, you won't be afraid because you have the knowledge. And then the next one was the sword of the spirit. Sword of the spirit says it's the word of God. And you're supposed to use the word of God or use truth in order to fight any of your battles. And in another way, I look at it as that's your weapon. We all have different weapons at our disposal. Whether it be our time, our energy, our resources. Some of us have more of one than the other. So what is your sword of spirit? What are you going to use in order to elevate and empower your people, to power and protect yourself? The last one talks about the power of prayer. Once again, prayer is your spirit, is closing your eyes and stating your intentions and connecting to yourself, connecting to the Creator, connecting to the Most High, connecting to the Creator within. That's your power. And for a lot of us who maybe aren't praying on a regular daily basis, that you're losing out. It's not like a thing you do for God, like you do it for yourself. Like when you pray, that's for yourself. It's setting an intention. It's speaking, it's speaking your truth. It's opening that electrical conduit. It's tapping into that energy that's all around us. That the more you do it, the more you get in the habit of doing it. You start to have more of a spirit of peace within you, because you can't be shaken. You can't be shaken like that anymore. Because you're connected to the God within, and you're connected to the Most High above.